Hello and welcome into Week 10 of the Baker football season. It's Clash of the Week time as the Wildcats take on number 3 Benedictine on Saturday at Liston Stadium. We're here as always with head coach Miguel Regalado. First, coach, as we always like to do, we're going to reflect back on last week's win over Missouri Baptist, capping off back-to-back road wins there. You guys have won 5 straight. Took care of business down there in St. Louis. Offense looked really great, putting up over 500 yards of offense. What'd you like out of your team pulling out a win there and kind of a look-ahead trap game there?
Yeah, you know, man, you said it exactly. It was kind of a trap game. No disrespect to Missouri Baptist at all. They're a very dangerous club. So, you know, anybody that watched that game knew that we were serious when we came out and kicked that onside kick on the very first kickoff. I told our group all week long, we have to find a way to jump these guys quickly, get their crowd out of it. We did not recover it. And I was really pleased to see our defense respond and hold, and then our offense take over and take it 10 plays for a touchdown. That immediately set the tone for the rest of the game. That, I think, is what I was most proud of with that game, was to see our defense respond after we didn't get it. We told them, hey, listen, we're going to kick this thing. If we get it, we're going to take advantage of it, go down and score. If we don't, we're going to hold, and then we're going to score. And they did exactly what we asked them to do. Really, really sharp performance, their first overnight trip, a young group. Really proud to see what happened.
Yeah, good to see them clicking. And again, kind of these last few games have had some guys step up that not normally that you've been looking at here. Kind of some guys like previously it was Dom Spears, but this last game against the Spartans, Eric Avery and Garrison Booth coming out with some big things for you guys offensively. How important is that for you, especially coming into a big matchup like that, adding in some different guys into the mix so they can't key on a Truman or an Adrian Seals on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, that's what we preach here at Baker football. It's the next man up. It is, and it's not like, you don't miss having those guys that have been there, like an Andy Williams that's been starting for 4 years, and I'm not going to have him against the number 3 team in the country. But God dang it, you always prepare the next guy, and that's what our guys have done. Garrison has been troubled with injuries all season long, and he could have just hung his head and just kind of checked out, but he has continued to stay in that training room. He's stayed in shape. He's been sharp with the playbook. And he came in and gave us a big-time spark on Saturday. Dom Spears we haven't seen for a couple of weeks, but he's healthy again. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings to the table on Saturday. So that's kind of what we do here. We recruit great players because we believe if you put enough great players in the room, the cream will rise to the top, and you're always going to be in a position to contend for a title.
Yeah, absolutely. And just heading into this week's matchup, taking a look back at the season, though, obviously starting off tough there, but won 5 straight. Guys really coming on an all-time high here going into this big matchup. It's kind of different than the previous 2 seasons, though, on just the journey of the season. How has that been like for you this year, Coach? Just the journey's been a little bit different here to get to this path, but you're in the exact same spot, battling for a Heart South title with Benny. Just what's that journey been like this year compared to previous seasons?
First of all, it's blown by, Matt. It really has. I can't believe that we've got 2 games left if we don't continue on past the regular season. I ran into the president of our university yesterday, and I think he kind of summed it up perfectly for us. Jody said, you know what, Coach, it has been an honor and a privilege to see your football team just grow up from the beginning of the season. And that's what they've done. There was a time there when we were 0-3, I kind of wonder if our guys even believed in us anymore. Did they think all of a sudden, you know what, maybe our staff isn't as good as we thought, or maybe we're not as good as we thought. And now, you fast forward 5 weeks later, and this group is just loose. They're locked in, they're having a blast, and they're playing with confidence. And that's, I can honestly say, in 23, I don't think we thought we could beat Benedictine. In 24, I think we thought we could, but we weren't sure. Mm-hmm. In 25, I believe they believe they can win on Saturday, which is a total awesome thing, considering they were 0-3.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's dive into the matchup there. Obviously, Benedictine coming in with a high-powered offense. They scored a ton of points on that side of the ball. Really going to be a clash between their offense. Our defense has been really clicking this last stretch. Forcing turnovers, scoring points on that side of the ball, kind of being your typical Baker defense there. What are you excited about? What are going to be some of the keys there, especially between their offense, our defense, those type of keys to the game.
Yes, no doubt. First of all, with our defense, you said it perfectly. It's a high-powered group now. Joel has done a fantastic job recruiting over there. They've got weapons all over the place. They have a Q that can deliver it to all his people. Running back that's extremely dangerous, and a physical offensive line. So we have our work cut out all over the place on defense. But I do love the way our defense is playing right now. I mean, they are starting to look like the old Baker defense. I knew that this would happen. I knew from the beginning that Coach Pauly would have this group playing well down the stretch. It's just one of those things you can bet on. So I'm looking forward to seeing our guys tackle in space, because they spread the field and they make you cover the entire field on offense. It's really a good group. So I'm looking forward to that matchup. I think, as always, Matt, you know me, the defensive line is going to be critical for us. If they can hold up against that offensive line and stop the run and force them into some situations where they're predictable, I think we got a great shot on defense. Offensively, it's going to come down to our offensive line. I've challenged them. I challenged them on Monday when we gave them this game plan. They have to take control of this field on Saturday. They have to protect number 7, and they have to open up holes for Garrison and for Gabe. And I think if our offensive line plays well, I think we will play well. I've told Truman all week long, you just be Truman. You're the most efficient quarterback in the South right now. I mean, I don't know that he knows that, but he is the most efficient quarterback in the South. And if he just continues doing what he's been doing since we hit the South, he's going to be just fine.
Yeah, and there's obviously, just besides the game itself, a lot of emotions, a lot of different factors going into the game. Clash of the Week's going to be there. Senior Day as well. Home finale, last regular home season game at least. What's all that like as well? Feeding into the emotions, trying to kind of keep it focused on the game, but also celebrating this great senior group who's been through it. I know these last three years with you, making back-to-back playoff appearances, kind of helping restore the order. What's just kind of going to be those emotions outside of the game with Senior Day on Saturday? Very
emotional. I'm a big Senior Day guy. Yeah. I love that our Senior Day has been Benedictine. I think it should be a Michigan and Ohio State. I really do. I love that. This group is extremely special to me. This is a group, we've been through a lot together. I remember being on that phone call the very first time that I received this job or got this job and got to talk to those guys. And I remember talking to Sam Hegeman. And I mean, it's a Baker group. This group has been fun to be around. They have worked their tails off all year long. They don't take summers off. They are working all the time. This was a bit of a different group because I had my seniors and then 55 freshmen.
Yeah.
And they have done a fantastic job of just showing those guys how Baker football works. I'm really going to miss this group. I'm really going to miss, the Aiden Palmers, the Andy Williams, the Truman Jules Guards, guys that just come every day. You know exactly what you're going to get out of them. They're never high, they're never low, they're just like that. And that's why we've had the success that we've had.
Yeah, I'd echo that as well. Great senior class. Going to be awesome rooting for them on Saturday, getting to see them play potentially one last time here on the home field, but also going to be a great matchup on Saturday. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you so much, Matt.
Make sure if you can't get out to Liston Stadium on Saturday to tune into the Urban Edge Network as the Wildcats take on number 3 Benedictine. Kickoff will be at 1 p.m., but the pregame show will start at 10 a.m., all on the Urban Edge Network.